Hello, cherry lovers. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas around here. The snow is falling in a lot of different areas. So today I'm going to make what I call melting snowman Oreo balls. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, this recipe is so simple. I mean, you're going to love doing this with your children or your grandchildren. You can use these little desserts for school parties, Christmas parties around the holidays. You can use them for just about anything, but they are very delicious, and it's a very simple and quick recipe. We're going to go over the recipe right now. The ingredients. Here we have 8 ounces of cream cheese. Then we have 36 Oreo cookies. Remember, this bowl contains 36 just regular, not the double stuff, just regular Oreo cookies. And then we have 16 ounces of white chocolate wafers. Now I like to use the wafers because the chocolate melts very, very well and it doesn't harden too quickly. Also, we're going to use 48 of the mini. This is going to be your little hat. And then you have some decorated colors here. You can use the edible ink markers. This is a first for me with these. I'd never seen that before. And of course, normally what I use is the gel. We're going to use this for putting the nose and the eyes on. And this is what that is. This is just a simple it's called writing icing. And those are your ingredients. You can also use a blender. You can use a food processor. And for melting, I'm going to be melting my chocolate in my microwave. And I'll show you how to do that. Melt it for the first 30 minutes and then 15-second intervals, stirring it after each 15 seconds. And also you can use a double boiler. Sometimes I use a double boiler if I'm having a large batch of chocolate that I'm going to be making something out of. So those are the ingredients, and stay tuned because I'm going to show you how to assemble this. Okay, one other thing I wanted to share with you. If you don't have a blender or a food processor or something to grind them up in, no worries. You can take all of your cookies and just put them in a bag, Ziploc bag, and crush them with a mallet or whatever you have to crush that with. I'm going to be using my Vitamix to do that in. So the first thing we want to do here is take our cookies and put them all into the blender or Vitamix or food processor, whatever you're using, or even in your bag. Drop those all in there. And then we're going to ground this up to a fine powder. Okay. That's only going to take probably less than a minute to get that all ground up. Okay, I'm going to stir that up a bit just to make sure that we get everything all incorporated in there. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, the next thing we're going to do is add in the cream cheese and grind that up. As I said, this is a really simple recipe, but it is the cutest thing ever. I thought it was so adorable. And it's really great for something for the grandkids to take to their parties. Okay. I'm going to have to mix that up, get that going, because the cookies sometimes want to stall at the bottom. And also, if you break all these cookies up and ground them up in a bag, you can also just pour this cream cheese into a bowl and you can hand mix it. I've usually used my food processor and not the Vitamix. So I might end up pouring this out into the bowl, but we'll see once I get it kind of mixed up here and see if it's going to move. It doesn't act like it wants to move that much, but we shall see. Okay, there it goes. That's going to take about a minute, so I'm going to let that mix up and I'll be right back. Okay guys, the next thing we're going to do, that's all nice and mixed up, the cream cheese, pour it into a bowl. You might have to do it in sections, but you pour that into the bowl, and I want you to know something else. If you're, in your opinion, if it's too soft to roll into balls right now, it's okay. Just stick it inside of your freezer or refrigerator for about 15 minutes so it can kind of harden a little bit, and then it'll be easier to make balls. But all you're going to do here now is take and make 1-inch balls. That's all you need is 1-inch balls. And when you make them into a ball, sit them on your pan. You don't have to worry about them expanding or anything, so don't have to worry about getting them too close. But you want to, again, try to get them into 1-inch balls. Sit them on your pan. And after you get your 1-inch balls, then you're simply going to stick it inside your freezer for 20 minutes so that these balls can harden. And I'm going to go ahead and finish rolling up the rest of these balls. Oh, and that's what you need these pans for. I have 2 pans over here. I have some wax paper on it. So place you some wax paper or even parchment paper, whatever you want to use on the pan, and then continue to roll your balls just into 1-inch balls. Your Oreo cookie mix with the cream cheese that you just added, roll them into 1-inch balls, sit them on the pan, let them sit in your freezer for 20 minutes, and then I'll be back and I'll show you how to finish the rest of the recipe. Okay guys, before we get into showing you how to actually assemble the melting snowman, I wanted to show you a few things. Let me begin with the different decorations you can use. This right here is called Cake Craft edible markers. You can use these to write on your snowmen, or another thing that I've tried is and these are the ones that I prefer. This is called writing icing, and that's these right here, and it does really well. And this one right here is called the writing gel, and I actually like this one better than them all, but I'm utilizing all 3 of them. So I just wanted you to see here that these are the 3 different types: the writing icing, the writing gel, and then the edible ink markers. Also, I wanted to talk to you about having fun when you're doing this. Now, some of these snowmen are going to turn out just absolutely beautiful, especially if you have a hand for drawing. My granddaughter, she can draw really well. One of my granddaughters, I have 4 granddaughters, but the one can draw pretty well. And sometimes if you, you can have fun with this. That's my point. Have fun. If you can't draw really good like me, I don't do so well. I have to be real steady and take my time. But have fun with this with your children or your grandchildren. You will love that. These are the ones that didn't turn out so nice. So these are the ones that I take after you dip them in chocolate and after you apply the little Oreo hat. Then just practice with them a little bit. They don't have to turn out perfect. And remember, whatever your children do, brag on them. Let them know, oh my gosh, that is so unique, because they are. And this is just so much fun. Now, the next thing I want to show you that I'm using, I took these cups to use for the chocolate because it's high enough where I can take the toothpick, dip it in the side of the, which you'll see me get to do all of this, but bring your chocolate all the way up to here and dip your chocolate or your Oreo ball into your white chocolate. I have 2 cups because as you progress in dipping your Oreo balls in the white chocolate, you're going to start to see a little bit of sprinkles or chocolate in the white, and that's going to taint the color. So then I have a second one to start with. So we're going to use that for that. Now, the next thing that I wanted to show you is the chocolate. I'm often asked over and over and over again, what chocolate do you use? Now, initially, when I first started using chocolate, I used it at a local store here, but as a result of COVID and all the things that happened, they've since shut down. So I started using the Merkins, that's the name of it, Merkins chocolate from Amazon. Amazing chocolate. I've been asked the question, do you add oil into your chocolate? This chocolate, I don't even have to add oil in. As a matter of fact, the chocolate that I used to use, I didn't add oil in there either because they actually stay for an extended period of time. They stay nice and soft and liquidy. Also, I wanted to let you know that using this chocolate, when I put it into the bowl, even after it starts to thicken or starts to get hard, pop it back into the microwave. I usually put mine in there from anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds and it softens it right back up. And I don't know how many times you can get away with doing that, but I got away with doing it 3 times and it was actually soft enough to reuse. So that's another thing. Also, I wanted you to see the size of the little Oreo hats. These Oreo cookies, you can put right on there, and the only thing you do is you put a little white chocolate and it'll stick there, but of course you will see me doing that in the video. These are the ones that I practiced on. Don't laugh because I know they look, you know, different, but that's all. We're going to stop there with different. And you can also put the Oreo cookie on the top of the snowman. You don't have to put it on the side, but you can use either way. This one is dead center, and you can color your snowman with any color you want. So make sure you let your children and grandchildren know, do you, whatever you like, whatever colors you like, just put them on there. And it doesn't matter. It's so much fun. I mean, I have so much fun doing projects with my children and grandchildren. So let's see, there was a couple more things that I wanted to show. This right here is a syringe. And my daughter uses it for Jell-O shots. But you can actually, I've got this from one of the readers who actually left a comment, and she said try using a syringe and putting the chocolate in there and then just dip it over the Oreo cookie. That might be an idea. Also, this one is one of my cake decoratings. You just put the chocolate in there, and this helps it to stay even, comes down, and then you can also use this to spray over your Oreo cookie ball if that is your preference. But my preference today is what I've tried, because I've tried a lot of different ones. Today it was to dip your straws, or your toothpicks right into your Oreo cookie, the ball, and then just dip it right in there and take it out and sit it on your pan. Now remember, these Oreo balls you'll see in the recipe is kept in the freezer until you're ready to use them, because you let them harden if you're doing them on the same day for however long that the video requires. But remember that this chocolate, once you dip that Oreo ball in there, will harden really quick. So it doesn't take that very long, maybe about 10 minutes, and it's set. And then we can get into the decorating. You don't want to handle it. You don't even want to remove the toothpick until the white chocolate is dry. And then I'll show you how to nicely remove the toothpick, and so you don't see the hole inside of it. All right, I think that that's it, and we will get started. Okay, the place we're going to begin is I've added 2 cups of chocolate to my bowl, and I'm going to stick it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to take it out and stir it. But we want to do it in 30-second intervals. Let me clear that out. And I'll stir that up real good, and then if it's not completely melted, then I'll put it back in for another 30 seconds. And then 15 seconds after that, probably toward the 3rd time, just stir it real good, and even though it's maybe have a few lumps, just keep stirring, and you don't have to pop it back in the microwave. It will be perfectly fine and ready to go. Also, I had said an error. I said I have 4 granddaughters. I actually have 5 granddaughters, so I just wanted to make that clear. All right, that's the 30 seconds. We're going to take that out and stir that up. And as I said, this Merkin's chocolate, I was just pretty amazed because I was disappointed when my hometown store closed down and I couldn't get it. But when I tried the Merkin's white chocolate, it's really, really good. And of course, we can see that that's not soft enough. So what we're going to do is pop it back in the microwave for another 30 seconds. So remember, guys, have fun with this. This is such to me, an exciting challenge for the grandchildren. There's just so many things that you can do with the decorating of these little, and they're called melting snowmen. And I've seen them in so many places lately, but I wanted to try them for a YouTube video so you guys can have fun doing that. Okay, we got about 6 more seconds, and we'll take that out. Okay, I'm going to stir that up. As you can see that that's really coming to a good melt, and it might already be at that point. This is what I meant by you might see a few chunks, and keep stirring, because sometimes you just by your stirring will completely melt the rest of it down. And I think that that's exactly what's going to happen here. Okay, I think that we've got maybe 1 or 2 or 3 more chunks that we're going to do this. Another 15 seconds. Yeah, that'll do it. That's completely melted. All right. Now what I'm going to do is take my cup and fill it to the top and hope that I don't get too many Oreo crumbs in there. And if I do, I'll just melt some more. Put that over there. Okay. Now, keep your eyes right there, Larry. It's one thing I have to grab out of here that I didn't grab. And that is our Oreo balls. And you do want to keep these in the refrigerator until time that you're going to use them. Now notice, these have flat bottoms. We want to remember that these are melting snowmen. So what you're going to do, you've got your Oreo cookie ball. You want to set that about, and that just broke. Just set that about in the middle. Don't stick it too far in. And then all you got to do is dip that down in there. Cover it completely. Okay, and you want to let some of the chocolate drain off, but you don't want too much of it to drain off, because then you won't get your melting snowman look. So just try to get most of it off, but not all of it. And then plop that down right there. Leave your straw in, or I'm sorry, your toothpick. Leave your toothpick in until that completely hardens. And we're going to do 3 or 4 more. And remember, it has a flat bottom. Some of yours can be round. That's perfectly fine. Mine did not turn out very round. And I just want to put that in there because that's where your little Oreo mini is going to go for the hat. And again, remember, don't dip it in too far. Let some of that drip off. And then just place that there. I should have moved that over a little bit further, but we will do the next one a little further out. Take another toothpick. Remember, try to get it somewhere in the side, or remember, you can put it on the top if you like. Dip it down in there. It's completely covered. Let some of the chocolate drip off because we're trying to get a flat bottom. And we're going to put that right there. And we're going to do one more. And that one's a little more flat than I care for. Okay. Put it to the side. Remember, you don't have to push it in too far. Dip it completely submerged into that chocolate, and then you got a nice smooth outside shell. Try to drip off most of the chocolate, not all of it. And then place it on the wax paper. This is wax paper. As you can see, you can start to see the melting look around there, and that's the whole point. You want to get a little melting look. Okay, we're going to let these dry, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to decorate these beautiful snowmen. Stay tuned. Okay, the next step is we're going to assemble these little mini Oreos. That's going to be the little hats. As you can see, a couple of them have the hats on, but I want to show you a couple of things here. I've taken I removed the toothpicks from these two. You will see a little dot there, and this has a little dot. You're going to fill in the chocolate, but when you go to move this, do it gently. And that chocolate has really hardened around there, but just remove that, and we're going to show you how to fill in those little brown spots. We're going to take this one and remove that. And I have a stick here that I used to make my suckers with sometimes, and it's a little bit bigger. So we're going to use that to fill in any spots. And if you happen to have the spot right where the hat goes, this is our glue. It's just the frosting that was left over from the batch. That's my glue. You want to press that up there nicely and just press it there. It will harden real quick because remember, these balls are cold from being in the freezer. So we're going to put a little dot there and a little dot there to fill in the holes. I'm going to take another Oreo cookie. Of course, this is just frosting, but I call it my glue. You can put it near the hole or you can put it right on the hole, wherever it'll sit. Okay, we're going to go to the next one. Fill in that spot with our little frosting. It's not frosting, it's chocolate for the spot. And the same for that hole. Okay, next, take some of your white chocolate, you melted. Remember, if this is the one that had a little, because mine is the one that had the little chocolate in it, the Oreos chocolate in there, it's okay, you can use that, you won't see it. Put that on there, and they go on really, really easy, as you can see. Put your another dab of chocolate and place that anywhere you want. Now, I'm putting them on the sides. Some of them I have put on the top. It's just whatever you guys choose. If you want to put them on the top, that's perfectly fine. That is so cute. That is something so enjoyable for you and your children or your grandchildren to do. Now, the next step, I'm going to show you how to paint it. So stay tuned. Guys, this is the last step. We're going to paint the faces onto our melting snowman. And don't laugh at me. I'm not an expert in the drawing area. So I'm going to start with the red. And we're going to use the red. And you can remember, you don't have to use the colors that I'm using for the spots that I'm using. We're going to make the face of the eye. We're going to put the eye on there first. You can put a little small dab. I've had some of them that were that small, and then some of them you can make a little bit bigger. Be careful when you're trying to make them bigger because you will get them where they actually start to run. You don't want that. Okay, see how simple that is? You can put a red nose here, or you can use a yellow nose or a green nose. What I'm going to do is close this up now. Now, these markers are so cool. One end has a very fine tip, and this end has a little thicker tip. So what we're going to do is use the thicker tip because we're going to put the smile on. And these don't tend to get real dark, so you can go back over them. See? Told you I wasn't an expert or anything. Okay, we're going to try different colors. This time we're going to use, let's see, what shall we try? Let's try the blue. I'm going to use blue for eyes. And then I'm going to try a different color for the nose. Whoa! See? And that's another thing that I forgot to share with you. Tap that down. I'm glad I got this right here. Tap that down so that it doesn't run, because that will happen. Now let's try that again. There we go. That's a lot better. Okay, before I add the nose, let's put this top back on. Okay, and let's try another color. I'm going to use the nose. And the idea here is to actually make it a little longer, like a carrot shape. Okay, then we're going to close this up. Now, I've been using these markers for the mouth, but you don't have to use these. You can use the gel or the other coloring, and just tap that just in case. Okay. How cool is that? And how simple that is. That is such a simple task. And the children, the grandchildren, they will all love it. They will all love doing this. I have really enjoyed doing this. And I hope you guys will give it a try and have fun. Have fun, not just with your children and grandchildren. Try doing it with your friends. Maybe making a video of your own. These little treats are very, very good. You can take them to school for school parties. You can take them to holiday parties for family. But also remember, if you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe. And hope you have a wonderful Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.